Do you want to be a millionaire by 25? Then why don't you work on it every day? In this video, I'm going to reveal a mental model you can use to stop being lazy and actually get work done. It's not the same advice like eat the frog, bro. Just do deep work, bro. No, there's some new actionable advice that you've never heard before. I'm writing in my journal. I just hit 44 kgs. I read this exact statement just a few months back in my old journal. I was just cleaning my room and I'm dusting the paper, and then I see this. I open to this random page and it's written, I just hit 44 kgs. And then I remember my past self writing that down, and I was not very jacked back then. I'm not even jacked right now, but मैं बहुत skinny था पहले, and 44 kgs seems a lot, like it seems very very less, but for me it was a lot. And I looked back at my past self and I was so happy. I was making a smoothie and I used to drink that smoothie every single morning, regardless of how I felt. That smoothie, like, it tastes like shit, bro. Like, it messes up my my digestive system so much, but I did it regardless of how I felt. And guess what? Now my current self is reaping the benefits of my past self. And I want you to experience the same thing, wherein 10 years from now you're going to look back at this exact moment of watching this exact video and being like, wow, I am so glad I did that. It is better to be lazy and unambitious. The most dangerous people in this world are lazy and ambitious people. Because what happens is you're lazy but you have ambitions, then you just feel like shit. You can't even enjoy anything in life. Like, some people who are like unambitious, right? At least even if they're lazy, it doesn't really matter, right? But for us it does. Because we have big ambitions. We have big goals that we want to achieve. The reason you can't get any sort of work done, the reason why you keep on relapsing is all because you treat every single decision from an emotional standpoint. You don't think rationally, you think very emotionally, and this is something called as fog of war. It is a situation in which your brain has to decide something because there is a deadline. So right now you're watching this video, you're facing the resistance to click off this video, right? This is a deadline for your brain. Your brain now has to decide, okay, do I click off this video or not? And then what happens is, when you enter this fog of war, your brain has a bias to take the decision which will take you away from pain and towards pleasure. That's just how our brains have evolved to be. So it will make you go click on one of those videos, if you know what I mean. We need to destroy that part of ourselves, that part of ourselves that convinces us to do these sort of bad things, right? We want to destroy that part. But the thing is, your brain loves to go away from pain. It loves pleasure. It loves the dopamine and pleasure that it experiences. And pain is something that is so hard to get over. But we all know the concept of delayed gratification, don't we? The more you delay your pleasure, the better your life becomes. And so I'm going to give you a mental model to actually take decisions in your own life, so that you anyways have to face the consequences of your actions. So you might as well deserve to face the good consequences. So a mental model is essentially a scenario. Think of it like a machine, and it has a set of programming inside it, and you give in your inputs and it puts out an output. So imagine a scenario that you can an asset you can have all the time, right? It's an asset. And every single time you're faced with a decision that you have to take, you just put in the variables, you put in your inputs, and you get an output just like that. Now, it will seem stupid to you once I explain it to you what this mental model is, but just hear me out, it works like crazy. So, I don't know how many of you guys have seen this show, but American Ninja Warrior करके एक show आता था TV पे, which I used to watch a lot. It is basically, like, if you don't know, it is a obstacle course show. So people have to go through obstacles, and there was an obstacle which I'm using right now to come up with this mental model called as the mental ninja warrior. The mental ninja warrior. So what this essentially is that, imagine like an obstacle course. Alright, you've got the start and you've got the end. And to get to the end, you have to go through one of those obstacles wherein you have to jump on the side. So I hope you can imagine this, right? Here is the start, here is the end. You have to jump like this to get to that. This is the mental model we're going to be using to take decisions. So every time you're faced with the urge to like do some stupid shit, watch something, do something, and you know that you're supposed to do the work, you just use this mental model. And the way you use it is that you tell yourself, okay, I'm in this obstacle course right now. I'm standing in this obstacle course. And at the end, that's the goal I want to achieve. But now I have to go through these obstacles, right? And every single obstacle is the decision that you're going to take. So then you have to ask yourself, okay, I'm faced with these two decisions. Which one decision that I take will get me closer towards that endpoint. It seems very obvious. It seems like, oh wow, this is the most generic advice. But just hear me out and just try this the next time you feel the urge to do something you shouldn't do and get work done. So for me, I felt this exact urge before making this video, right? I felt this exact urge. I didn't want to record. But then I told myself, okay, I'm at this starting point. And my ending point is to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Will wasting time get me closer to that? Or will recording this video get me closer to that? Guess what I did? It seems very obvious. You'll be like, oh wow, I know what actions I'm supposed to do, but I'm not doing it. The reason you're not doing it is because your brain is not convinced it should listen to it. Your brain will do everything to get away from pain. That pain can be the current pain you're facing, or the current pain you can or the pain you can face. So what this mental model does essentially is it puts into perspective the pain of not doing the work. It puts into perspective the pain of not doing the work. So if you don't do the work, you're not going to reach that goal. You're going to be stuck at the start of this obstacle course. And that's a pain you don't want to have. It quantifies this metric of procrastination. It quantifies this metric, and so it works really, really, really well. Next time you face this situation wherein like you can do the instant pleasure activities and you also can do the work, use this mental model and let me know in the comments how it works. By the way, scroll down and subscribe. Don't sacrifice your future self for the pleasure today. Peace.